Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account. We've amassed almost 50,000 diamonds now. We know tomorrow, or excuse me, on Monday is going to be the patch notes. Tuesday is going to be the actual patch that is coming up, which means we're going to be kicking off the 5-year anniversary. Now, overall, we are still grinding through this chapter. As you can see, we are on 61-56. That's right. We're almost done with 61 at this point. I never really thought the chapter progression we would make it this far, but we are definitely moving right along. So hopefully we can get through this, get poised to the very last chapter. Now, I have been trying to go through at least one boss stage every single time that we run this. And you'll see the dynamic of the heroes have changed a lot. So we're actually running Mehira in here with the awakened version of Mehira. We have Mulan, we have Frampton, and then, of course, Lorzen for the linking. Now, again, it's pretty interesting to see how some of the formations are being used and how a lot of the formations are really dependent on some of the random heroes. We have seen a big rise as of right now with Mulan, and you can see actually trying to take out one target here. Mulan has really been a hero that we're using a lot. We've seen it a lot with Geralt, which again is another one. This one, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get torn down. Now, Torn, if you guys are familiar with the hero, was used for quite a while. But overall, if you let Torn get the life leech ability up, so if you get him to grow in these formations, especially, I mean, having what a 400 plus level deficiency, if you let Torn get all of his bone whips and everything up, essentially you're not going to be able to kill him. You're not going to have the damage enough to take him down. But you can see Mulan down here, and I think we might have taken Torn down in this one. So Kalthar gets us down. Now, Kalthar, of course, once you kill Kalthar, he turns up as the spectral version of himself, meaning that it's, again, he's a hero you have to kill more than once. And if he is in that spectral form, of course, he is untargetable, but he does a crazy amount of damage, especially on the enemy side. It's kind of impressive with how much damage that he can do in here. And again, it looks like Torn might be up during this one. Or no, we might have won it with Frampton. Look at that, guys. Frampton takes it out. Now, of course, again, another hero not seeing a lot of use. And here is our absolute famous Thorin Cheese, guys. Puts everyone together right in the front, and Thorin drops it first try. Look at that. That is why we love the Thorin Cheese. I know so many people do hate the Thorin Cheese, but literally that is the reason we run it. He dropped everybody at a super high level deficiency with the very first attempt that we had, which is awesome. Now this one, of course, with Daimia and Ulna, we have to get Daimia's ultimate ability up. So once we do get that ult up, then we're going to have the ability to actually keep this whole team alive with that RNG factor. Again, we know we have a giant Ninja Turtle that's bouncing in here. And of course, Daimia goes down, which means we're probably going to lose the rest of this team shortly after. Ulna, of course, giving that immunity to Daimia, and Daimia keeping that immunity. Now, overall, when you're going in here with the collections, we know the formations and how they're building them out are kind of changing. But as of right now, you can see the immunity we're getting from Daimia. But overall, it's going to make a big difference because right now, you have to pay attention to a bunch of different game modes. And look at this. We have Raku that is just leaving the battle, I believe. He was up here, way up in the castle. But overall, with the collections changing, it's going to be interesting because you have to make sure that you're going back and you're putting other collections on different heroes. Now, this is running Aethys. Now, of course, this is a really strong combination. If you guys are not familiar with the new Wilder tank, he is a monster when it comes to crowd control. And you look at this team, we have Khazard, we have Leonardo, we have Aethys, we have Zolrath, and we have Emilia. So literally, it is a full-out crowd control team locking down everyone. Now we know, of course, Brutus, really tough because the Slumbering Seal is what is doing the damage in this formation. We just need to crowd control, and we're going to have to crowd control Brutus. Now, when he goes immune, he just kind of goes crazy wild with the amount of damage that he puts out. But a lot of times, if we can lock him down and get him to be essentially the last target in here, especially if he's on a Zolrath, and then Zolrath, of course, goes into his little portal right there. And again, look at the lockdown of this. This is working perfectly as intended. Brutus, of course, right there goes immune. Zolrath is up. Zolrath is tanking. Drops him right down, right through Brutus's immunity shield. So awesome to see. Bringing us to the final one, which, of course, is Liberta. Now, this one we've seen a lot. Now, of course, When you look at the Shroom Spooter in this one, that is another one that you have to have. The taunt ability that is going off with the Shroom Spooter is going to really keep this team alive. And then, of course, you'll see the cycle start increasing faster and faster with Mehira and the charm. Now, a lot of players were kind of questioning if they should build out Mehira at this point in AFK Arena. You don't really need to build her out that high to be super effective within these formations, but it is still working incredibly well. You have to get the crowd control up. And it looked like she died before the crowd control went off. But again, we have the taunt right there from the Shroom Spooter. Again, this is another one. When we talk about the heavy, really heavy RNG factor of these game modes, this is it, guys. Mehira and Thorin are the two biggest, again, RNG really heroes that we see in AFK Arena to win these formations. Now, I question this last one because we have the dancers in here. This might not be super effective because we essentially don't have them built out in really a decent capacity. So they're just getting wrecked right at the very beginning. I'm wondering if we could look through a couple formations, figure out or see what essentially we could put in here and what other players were kind of running within this formation. Now, GXS is who we've actually been following. So right there, and again, those dancers are maxed out. I think that was the trio version. Let's see what some other players are running. So here's Trishia. So very similar, but Trishia with Baden in there. So let's run that one. So let's run Trishia with Baden. And again, I know Trishia I do have built up quite a bit. So this might make a big difference in here because of the utility of Trishia. And again, taunt ability comes up really quick. And of course, they go down really fast, as we've seen in the past. And you'll also notice that Lucilla keeps popping back up. That's another thing with the cheat death aspect that we have with Lucilla. Keeps popping up and popping up. I think this one might be a little bit more viable to getting it done, to having those dancers that are not built by any means. And of course, like I was saying, this is a big RNG factor within here. Even there, if we get run over right in the beginning, if there's resistance to any of the taunts or anything, we just get taken out, and we get taken out really quick. And Shroom Spooter, I like how he works, and we got to get some of the buffs up. Again, Trishia goes down early right there. Might have to see what else we're using in here, but I'm assuming this is going to be the strong formation. Now, of course, Baden, we do have built out quite a bit. We have a pretty good build on Baden, have a good build there on Trishia. And of course, there's the Mesmerize. Chaining that Mesmerize effect is what we need. Boom, we get the taunt right there. Again, that's what we're looking for, is that taunt. We don't want the immunity. We want to make sure we're getting this taunt off. That way, not only the taunt, but we can use Mehira with the Mesmerize ability to actually have the team at this very high level just kill themselves out. Now, of course, the immunity, kind of the RNG in here with Silas. Again, if Mehira goes down, if any of these go down, it's going to make a big difference on the ability to get through this. Similar to Thorn Cheese, I'll give it one more try, and then we'll see if we can get this one done. And I'm hoping, because this is a big RNG factor, and this is a big battle. A lot of players said that they were getting stuck at this point. And again, if Mehira goes down, it's all kind of game over at that point, because we're not seeing the damage out of this. All right, guys, it took us an insane amount of time to get that stage down, which I figured it would. But looking at the very last one, let's check out the damage in these ones. Now, of course, looking at the Awakened version of Shamir, but look at Mulan and Frampton, 262 and then 157, doing a considerable amount of damage right there. Thorin, 2.73 trillion, that is right. Retaliation is crazy, 2.44 trillion right there. Then, of course, our crowd control team, 224 billion. But look at that, 2.10 trillion, which is insane. That is what the Beast is doing, 840 and then 868. So even look at the Awakened version of Baden. Now remember, we did build him to that 35 signature item to really make a difference in a lot of different game modes. And he is doing a very good job with being built up a little bit further. So that is going to do it for the boss stage, guys. We are continuing. We're almost done with 61 at this point. Get a couple more diamonds, but that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.